Welcome to Somewhere in October. I'm Alex, and today we're talking about Stranger Things Season 5. So, before this comes out, as in the new season, I'm going to talk about which characters I think are most likely to make it through the season and not kind of give you my opinions and my thoughts, my likes, my dislikes if they are, gotten rid of. But I'm a little bit nervous for this one, I have to be honest. So, obviously, the top tier is definitely this means I really can't see them making it out to the end. Very likely is they could pull a fast one on us, but I kind of believe that they're going to get rid of them. 50-50. I'm really not sure. It could be and it could not be. Who knows? Not as likely. I can't see it, but there is a chance. And then protected. I just don't think that we're going to see them go. So we're starting with Murray. He's been integral, and I can see him maybe getting taken out if he's working with everybody. I mean, he's definitely found himself in some dangerous situations, but I also don't think he's ever going to be Vecna's target. So I don't think he has the full threat or the full chase on him, but I don't think it's zero because he has put himself in dangerous positions. He is often with Hopper, which we know what happens to Hopper often. So I'm going to say not as likely. I don't think he's protected, but I don't necessarily think we're going to see him go. Then we have Mrs. Wheeler, or Nancy and Mike's mom, and Holly's mom, of course. I have to be honest, knowing that Holly's going to play a bigger role in this season, someone in the Wheeler family's not making it out. I mean, we have to be for real. There's no way, because I think this family is more connected with everything than we know. I'm just wondering if she's going to be the one to go. Honestly, I'm going to say very likely. I have a feeling, because we also had her poster. Like, everyone thought she was going to be a bigger deal in season 4 as well. So she is obviously going to be in this plot. And I don't just think as Holly's mom or Mike's mom or Nancy's mom. I think she's going to play a bigger role. So I think if any of her children are in harm's way, she's going to do what needs to be done to protect them, and she's going to be involved in it. And if one of the moms is going, it's going to be her. It's not going to be Joyce. When we're talking about Ted Wheeler, I just can't even see him. His name is Ted, right? The dad. I just can't even see him being integral to the story. He's been pretty, like, he's just there. You know what I mean? I don't, like, obviously, if Holly's in danger and everything, like, we see that Hawkins is on lockdown, it seems like everybody's going to be understanding what's going on. He seems so insignificant to me, and that can either mean that he's an easy one to get rid of, to pull at your heartstrings a little, or, build the tension, or he's not going to go at all. So I'm going to put him in 50-50. And leave your thoughts in the comments because I'm just going off a gut feeling. Okay, 11. I'm actually going to leave 11. Where did I just put her? I'm going to leave 11, Mike, and Will for the end because I have something to say about that trio. Let's do Max first because Lucas is going to be protecting Max a lot in this season from what I can tell from the trailers and obviously how it's been. And we know that Lucas cares for Max, obviously. So the thing with Max is if they were going to get rid of her, they should have just done it in season 4. I don't think there's a point to save her unless it's going to be a plot point, which I think Lucas is going to tie in. Because if we lost Max, I don't know how involved Lucas would be, if Lucas would even be at risk. Like, yes, he would be part of the group, but now he's going to be at risk even more because he's helping Max. Pretty sure she's in a coma. So the thing with Max is I'm going to put it in very likely. It would probably make more sense at this point to save her, but actually, I'm just thinking story-wise how this evolves if we lose Max and what kind of moment we have, because we've already had last season a really heartbreaking moment between her and Lucas. So I'm actually going to say 50-50 for Max, and I'll explain with Lucas. I think that there's a chance to save her physically and maybe in the upside down as well. And I think if she is saved, if she makes it out of this, Lucas will die saving her. Or they'll both die. The thing with Lucas and Max, I think if Max lives, it's going to be because Lucas helped save her, but he's going to sacrifice himself in doing so. Because if they're going to get out of emotions, if they're not going to repeat a story, we're not going to see the scene of Lucas again losing Max. It doesn't make sense. So I think we are going to see Lucas not survive, regardless if Max lives or not. Because either they both die in his quest to save her, or he dies saving her. So I'm gonna say very likely. Obviously, it's not definitely, but it's very likely. Then we have Dustin. I really can't see him. I'm really gonna say not likely. I don't even think it's 50-50. Obviously, he's gonna be in harm's way. There's gonna be a lot of chances we can lose him. I just don't think that is, in my opinion, a good way to do this story. That one, that would gut punch me. Obviously, I wouldn't want to lose any of these people, but Dustin has been through so much. I'm actually hoping he has a little bit of a redemption moment, like a savior moment, because he was really upset about Eddie. From the trailers, he's really depending on Steve and clutching to Steve. So you can see that he's really, really struggling. And I want him to have a redemption. So when he does make it out of this, he has something to look back on and know he did everything. I don't want it to be a situation where he freezes in fear or sorrow or grief or whatever it is and something else happens. It's not really true to his character when I think about early Dustin and even later Dustin. The Eddie thing threw him off. Can't see them getting rid of him. I will be so upset if they do. Then we have Erica. Again, I think Lucas is really likely, so they're not gonna get rid of Erica too, that would be crazy. I really, really don't see Erica. I'm actually gonna put her in protected. I just cannot see them getting rid of Erica. It would be insane if Lucas makes it out of it and loses both Max and Erica. And Erica, it doesn't make sense to me in my gut. Maybe story-wise you can come up with a reason, but I don't want her to go. I also want her to have maybe even a sisterly moment where she's helping Lucas, or we see her go through the loss. Not that I would wish that upon anyone, but we're talking about the world of Stranger Things. It's not real. Then we have Holly Wheeler. She's going to be integral. I think she's going to be at risk, but I think that people are going to die protecting her, not her die. So I'm going to put her in protected. I really don't think they're going to do that to Holly. That would be honestly crazy to kind of have Holly in the first season be significant, her be there, but not really be a big part. Make her a big part of season 5 and then get rid of her. I think that would be insane for a story, like a character arc. Nancy is going to be a badass as usual. I think she's going to be surrounded by loss. I don't think she's going to be the one to be lost. I'm going to say not as likely. I don't even think I'll put it in 50-50. Nancy is one that I would probably riot if we lost her. I love Nancy. I think she has been so strong through all of it. Even like I'm rewatching now on season 2 and she's really grieving. She's having a hard time because she's also growing up. Like she's also, well, all of them are having these growing pains of growing up. And because she's in this like love triangle kind of thing, it would be crazy to get rid of Nancy and then never solve that love triangle, which we're actually going to talk about this love triangle right now, but I just can't see them getting rid of Nancy, and I would actually cry over my Christmas dinner if we did. Jonathan and Steve, I have to kind of think of them as a group. We know that Will is going to be very integral to, I keep saying integral. If you're annoyed, sorry. But I really think that, not that I think, we know that Will is going to be a really big part of Vecna's plan, what Vecna's doing. And Jonathan and Joyce have proven to really go after them and fight for them and do what they need to do. I also think Jonathan is due for a little bit more battling, a little bit more in the upside down. If Will was to make it out of it, I think Jonathan would go. We'll talk about Will soon. I'm going to put 50-50. I don't really know what they're thinking about his character, and I really don't know how I would react. If it's early in the season, I would be devastated. If it was near the end, I could see how the story would go that way. Then we have Steve. I love all the memes that are like me at Christmas dinner when Steve dies. I feel like everybody's expecting it to the point where I don't know if you would be disappointed if it didn't happen, or if it did happen, you would be like, yeah, we knew. But if it did happen, it would definitely be emotional. I would also be upset. I love Steve. Like when we look at the track record, Barb, Bob, Alexi, Eddie, it makes sense for them to get rid of Steve. I don't want to say that, but it does, because they know how to make you love someone and then take them away from you. I'm honestly going to say very likely just because of all the hype it's getting. I can't say for sure if it's definitely. Then we have Robin. This is a character that I like, but I don't think it would be overly devastating for me as a viewer or even the group. Like, obviously, they would be upset, but I think it would be more like a Barb than if we lost someone like Dustin. I'm gonna say 50-50. We have this girl from last season, I'm pretty sure her and Robin have a thing. I'm just gonna put her in mm, I'm gonna put her not as likely. Maybe if Robin has more of a fleshed out story this season, she'll be involved. I probably wouldn't even put her on this tier list, but it's not my tier list, so. Then we have Joyce. I don't think Joyce is going. I mean, she is obviously gonna be protecting Will. She tries so hard to protect Will. She's also lost so much. She's been through a lot. Joyce is so beloved. I just can't even picture losing Joyce. I don't even know what that would look like. For everybody else, I can kind of see it. For Joyce, I can't. Like, what would the scene look like? I can't. But if Will doesn't make it out of this and Joyce does, or Jonathan doesn't and Joyce does, I don't know how Joyce goes on. So I feel like either we're losing all of the Byers family or none of them, honestly, because I just don't know. But I'm going to say not likely. It's not completely 100% not gonna happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Hopper, again, we've had a fake it with Hopper before. It's kinda like Max, so if they did it now, I don't think it would be as impactful, but I think it's really likely. Hopper's with 11 a lot, and from the trailers, it looks like they're gonna be together, just the two of them a lot. It makes sense for Hopper to protect 11 and sacrifice himself so 11 can go on because she is the one who ultimately can change things. Even though there could be a twist where she's not the one who changes things. In saying that, I think it's very likely that we're going to lose Hopper. I kind of want to put someone indefinitely, and if I was going to place my bets, it would be on Hopper. So let's place my bets. Hopper. Now, Vecna. I mean, the only way Vecna wouldn't is if the Upside Down wins, which would be a crazy ending. A crazy ending. I really don't know how they're gonna end this. Like, I can't see him reverting back to himself. Like, that feels too fairy tale to me, and it's not what I would want. So I'm gonna say definitely. I'm gonna place my bets, but I think it would be just smack everyone in the face if the Upside Down won. And it could be a situation where Vecna lives on, but he's trapped in the Upside Down. But I think for them to really break through everything and to finish the series, Vecna would have to be gone, right? He can't just be on the Upside Down because he could come back. And we're not having a reboot. Leave this be. It is perfect. Don't mess this up. 11, I can't say definitely. I can't say definitely because if she's the one to save everything, although it might take everything, it might take her, like, jumping into the Upside Down and having to stay in the Upside Down, maybe, like, the portal thing, whatever you wanna call it, closes, and then she is stuck down there or is, like, zapped away with it, I don't know. But if she lives, like, is she just gonna have a normal life? Again, I don't want anything fairy tale, I don't like anything that feels like a fairy tale, especially when kids are involved, which sounds crazy, but we're on a horror channel, bear with me. Some recent movies or like movies that involve kids, we often go into like a superhero thing because we're afraid to do what needs to be done. But then, even if they do that, which can be done correctly or done well, you have to look at what happens after. What is life after? I know we've seen 11 start to fit in, but I just can't see 11 having a normal life. Like she's just going to grow old and be a normal person after all of this. I can't see it. I'm gonna say very likely, but again, this is not a definite for me. Mike and Will. The thing with 11, Mike and Will, I think Mike is going to protect Will or try to save Will, and then maybe 11 gets killed trying to protect Mike, who's trying to protect Will. It could be that 11 has to destroy Will. Ultimately, they find that out. It just has to be done. And we have to grieve with that, which would be honestly a wicked cliffhanger. And maybe last minute when 11's doing her thing or someone's doing their thing, Mike jumps in and is like, no, I'm still going to try to protect him. And it happens. I honestly, and like Mike also has Holly involved now. There's something in my gut saying very likely. I'm going to put it in there. It might be crazy. And Will. Obviously, I want to say definitely. I haven't watched, like, I know they released the first 5 minutes. I haven't watched that. So whatever I say may be disproven by that, but I actually want to see that when it comes out. I don't want to taste. I want to watch it all. But we do know that Will and Vecna are very connected, and Vecna's been using Will. My question is, when he was brought back, when he came back, after everything he's been through, we know Will is still there, but how much of Will is still there? Like, is he still alive because of the Upside Down? How connected is he? Is the Upside Down maybe even like a power source or a life force for him? I don't know. And maybe when Vecna's using him, something happens where it will burn him out. It will burn out whatever life force he has left. Maybe Vecna takes all the life force. I think we're not going to save Will. Now we could save Will, but I feel like it started with Will, it's gonna end with Will. I really don't know. I'm gonna put him in very likely for now. I just wanna look at this again and see if there's anything else I wanna change or if I wanna place my bets somewhere. If I had to think, I'd put Will indefinitely if I'm going with my gut. I would put 11 indefinitely if I'm going with my gut. And Steve. Lucas is still a very likely, and so is Mrs. Wheeler. Like, those I can't be too sure. I really don't know about Mike. I'm gonna stick it here. I'm gonna stick it here. Am I gonna regret that? Listen, I'm gonna put Mike indefinitely. Okay? We're gonna see how many of these I get right. We'll check back in every segment and see how right I was and if my mind changes. But this is what I'm going with. Let me know your predictions. I want this to hurt. And I honestly don't even know if 11 has everything she can to get rid of Vecna. I don't know. Like, obviously, we're gonna have the army in this, but it's a completely different ball game.